There are moments in our lives that make or break us into the people we are today. The life of one person is just as important as another's. And one anime film I believe understands the importance of the weight of a human being is the anime film BELLE. BELLE released in Japan in 2021 and the US in 2022, and was made by anime film legend Mamoru Hosoda, who was also the man behind Wolf Children. I actually did an entire retrospective of all the movies he did in the past, which I had to re-upload due to copyright, and looking back at the movie now, I can honestly say it isn't my all-time favorite film by him. Not even in my top 3. I'd actually put it right down in the middle, somewhere right after Summer Wars, and tying with One Piece Baron Amatsuri and the Secret Island. The movie itself isn't perfect, with the virtual world of you having an inconsistent idea on how it works, an overbloated cast who don't add much to the film. I'm not hating on this movie, I genuinely enjoyed it myself. And in fact, it was so good, it actually got well over a 10-minute length standing ovation, and even got many awards in different film festivals. But there's one thing I think the film succeeds in the most, and as mentioned before, is the main character, Yuzu, and her avatar, Belle. Yuzu's story is what makes Belle such an endearing film, and it all comes from one important scene near the end, and through one of the most important songs of the film, A Million Miles Away. What makes this moment so impactful is because it represents Yuzu's struggle with the death of her mother. Yuzu's mom died when she was little, when a river was flooding and there was a child stuck on a small patch of land, so she went in to save the child, unfortunately at the cost of her life. Over the years, Yuzu has gotten distant with others and shut out people. It got so painful for her that she stopped singing, the one thing that she loved to do with her mother. Until one day she made an account on You and took on the form of Belle. She started to open up again, especially to a user named the Beast, not for love, but for empathy. We learn who the Beast truly is and why he takes out his anger on the world. Yuzu, realizing nobody wanted to help him, took matters in her own hands by revealing to the world who Belle truly was and singing the song she made for her mother. I will be talking up more on the English lyrics, but the Japanese ones are just as good. Both voice actors did an amazing job revealing the raw emotion that comes from the song. Now, the reason I also state that this song was made for Yuzu's mom, it's actually shown in the beginning of the film. We see Yuzu trying to write a song only for her to rip it to shreds. That song, I believe, would have been reworked over time when she finally learned to sing again in You, becoming the song that we would know as A Million Miles Away. You can even hear it within the lyrics itself. Though due to copyright I can't really play the song, but I will read out the lyrics and what they represent. Light glimmers in a flower, like jewels in a dream. The sky breathes life, love to everything. These words describe her mother, describing how loving and caring she was, not just because she was her mom, but she was just a caring person in general. At times I've thought, I'm not enough, the chains that tie my heart, but there's still a path that lies ahead for you and I. Describing her mother's sacrifice, leaving Yuzu believing that her mother didn't love her enough, turning Yuzu into the closed-out person she later became, and if she were still around, she may have had a different life. Memories fade away, clouds of yesterday. Even though it's been years since she's been gone, she still remembers that day as if it were yesterday. With no one to love, is this life worth living? She loved her mother so much. With her gone, it slowly killed her inside, wishing for this pain to go away, even through death. And then she sings with her heart, come back to me and stay by my side. I feel my heart shake, come ease this ache. I'm standing over here, reaching for you, a million miles away. Come back and stay. She howls these words to high heavens, pleading for her mother to come back, wanting to be held, wishing she still had more time with her. No matter how far the memories may be, when I close my eyes, you're all that I see. Come back to me. A million miles away, come back and stay. Even though it's been a long time, she will never forget the memories of her, how much she left behind. Holding her hand out, waiting for the day when her mother would return, holding her. These verses are some powerful words that have some raw emotion. The emotion that Yuzu has been holding on for so long. But after singing the song, looking out and seeing the horizon of You, she realizes why her mother did what she did. As she said, if I don't save her, no one will. What Yuzu is doing now to protect the Beast is the very same thing her mother did that day, saving a life. There are times when a person is in need, but very few people are there to lend a hand. Yuzu and her mom are those who lend a hand to them when others are either too scared or too selfish to do anything. Understanding now why she did what she did, she sings more, but this feels different. A ball of light appears in front of her as she sings. We learn through the film pain can be shown to both the user and the avatar if the person in the real world experiences said pain. We also learn that it's not just physical, it also shows emotional pains, like the scars of emotion from abuse from others, were seen earlier when Yuzu was crying before she sang the song Lend Me Your Voice. That pain was coming from her heart, a pain of loss, pain that just wouldn't go away. Yuzu keeps singing louder and louder. She sings with that emotional pain she's held on to for so long. The light keeps on growing every time she sings. It looks and sounds beautiful, but it holds a lot of emotion to the point where everyone in you feels that emotion and cries. Then slowly and quickly, people start singing along with her, with lights emitting from them. It's an empathetic moment in the film, showing we all deal with pain and loss. The emotional pain is so intense, I honestly couldn't stop crying myself when I first saw it. This moment showed that people are capable of showing empathy to where I kind of wish that it somehow connected its last act of the film with this one in some way or form, making it even more emotional, even praiseworthy. Yuzu is in tears seeing how many people are singing and sharing their pain, that it sometimes is a little too hard to bear, but she feels better now. And the music shows that much as well, because that's what it feels like to open up. It's painful at first, and sometimes it may never go away, but sharing your thoughts and emotions can truly be freeing. Showing Yuzu is no longer burdened by her past, taking the form of Belle again, reawakening, knowing that there are people out there who will always lend a hand, making it, in my opinion, the best anime scene of 2022. When I first saw the scene in theaters, I got a good idea of what it was representing, but later down the line, I unfortunately understood what those words truly meant. Losing someone you care about is heartbreaking, and it is very suffocating. It's really hard to lose someone you care about, but what Belle taught me is, it's okay to let your voice be heard, because there is someone out there who will be there for you, always watching, even if they're a million miles away.